the university of first choice and the nation's pride. The university with an intimidating profile, the only university that you can access through water, land, and air. I bid you all welcome. A round of applause for me. And I want to say that you all look lovely this morning. And you too. You're welcome. On behalf of the Department of Zoology, I welcome you all to the valedictory lecture of somebody I respect so much. An amiable teacher, an erudite scholar, a quintessential and visionary leader, a woman of timber and caliber, a woman of class and chief, a meeting with all due respect, I call her the fine girl. The round of applause my mama. And then, is Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. And the title of the lecture is Climbing Every Mountain, My Sojourn in Academia, Reminiscence of a Zoologist. I can tell you, this day is going to be an indelible day in your life, because she's going to dazzle you with this lecture. So keep your seats and wait for the lecture as it comes. So without wasting time, let's keep the ground running as we expect all the people. We're going to have a full house, so just be comfortable. We're going to start by ushering in the Almighty Father who has given us the opportunity to see this day. On the basis of that, I'd like to invite Reverend Dr. Olubunmi Adetoro. So please come to the podium and lead us on a short opening prayer to usher in this program.
Our Father, we thank you because this is the day you have made. Our portion is to rejoice and be glad in it. Today we put everything here into your hands as we celebrate this day. Take absolute control and glorify yourself in the name of Jesus Christ. All we do, take charge and be glorified. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you so much for such a soothing prayer. Now, my name is Dr. Olubunmi. I'm also a member of the Department of Zoology, and I'll be anchoring the program for a short period of time. I won't be doing this alone. I would like to call on Dr. Otubanjo. He will be assisting me in the parole. A round of applause for him. And give the floor for you to introduce.
Once again, I bid every one of us welcome to this celebration and this lecture. I will call some of the invited guests who have been assigned to be on the high table, calling them out. So please, as I call you, please do the honor of coming up to the high table. I'll start off by calling distinguished Professor Olubunmi Adetoro to the high table. Prof is a distinguished professor in the Department of Zoology. You're welcome once again, sir. The next on the list is distinguished Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. Please listen to me. Next on the list is the active dean for the Faculty of Science. Also wearing two caps, the head of the Department of Chemistry, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. Wearing two caps this morning, starting in place for the dean, acting for the dean of Faculty of Science, and also representing the Department of Chemistry. I'd like to call on the head of the Department for Zoology, Professor Olubunmi. I'd like to call on the dispersal, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo, the expert to the celebrant. Coincidentally, today is his birthday, so please let's give him a round of applause. I'd also like to call on Reverend Olubunmi Adetoro, phonetically I did not pronounce that properly, to the high table. Thank you. And finally, for now, I call on the celebrant, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. Round of applause. Round of applause for her. She looks great.
Today, incidentally, is his birthday, and the way we usually intercede, it does not matter. Today is a special day. Please, let us stand up and wish him a happy
Thank you.
followed suit by Unilag acting. Can we all rise up, please? Please, can you step down? We're ready for the sing the national anthem. Okay?
Thank you so much. I want to lay down the course. And so this morning I want to welcome and recognize the management team. We hope they will be here. I also want to say good morning to our distinguished professors, Professor Olubunmi and Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. I also want to say good morning to the acting dean and the head of the Department of Chemistry, Professor Asheku. I want to welcome Reverend Azuka. We're glad to have you and thank you for the prayers. I want to especially acknowledge Professor Otubanjo, sir, distinguished by saying the political scientist. You're welcome in our midst, and I want to wish you a happy birthday and appreciate you for sharing this your day with us, especially in the department. I want to appreciate Professor Otubanjo, the zoologist, the two professors in the house, who we are celebrating this morning. That's why we are here this morning. We want to celebrate her as a distinguished scholar, and I say that in every sense of the word. She's a distinguished scholar. And also to acknowledge and appreciate her contributions to the development of the Department of Zoology. I also want to recognize her unblemished and exemplary service within the Department of Zoology and the University of Lagos. Professor Otubanjo's academic career spans 45 years. If I'm right, she began in 1976 as an academic in the University of Ibadan. And her journey in academics took her through three very important universities in the Southwest: the Premier University, University of Ibadan, Lagos State University, and then our own university here, University of Lagos, where she spent the greater portion of her working career. I would also like to give a little bit of the highlights of her career. Somebody is well prepared to do that when the citation is going on. But I will just mention some few things and then I will go ahead. Professor Otubanjo is a member of many professional bodies: the FPPSN, the Tropical Medicine and Parasitology, the British Parasitology Society. She also has served the university in various committees. She's one of our counselors. She was one of our counselors in the university before she left. She served as a law mistress in Morgan Law and was the immediate past head of the Department of Zoology from the year 2015 to 2018. Professor Olubunmi will be giving us more details about that. I met her 38 years ago, precisely 1983, when she was lecturing at the University of Ibadan. I came in as a postgraduate student, and that's when I came to meet this wonderful person we are celebrating this morning. 38 years is a long time in which to be able to say some key things about a personality, met as a student, worked under her for some years, and I just want to highlight some of these things that I will call her core virtues. I hope I will be right. What makes Professor Mrs. Otubanjo? The first thing I would like to highlight as one of our core virtues is there is no how you interact with her. You will come away with this understanding that she is an intelligent and very brilliant person. Professor Otubanjo is very intelligent and brilliant. She's articulate in sciences many times. The English language and science are mutually exclusive. But this morning I'm glad to say that in her, the science and the command of the English language are not mutually exclusive. We'll be enjoying some of her good command of the English language. I always love to hear her speak the English language. She's also an erudite and seasoned scholar. She knows her ornaments, like we normally say. And this morning she's going to treat us to a very enjoyable lecture. I want you to sit still and listen. Brilliance and intelligence was displayed in one of the most difficult courses that we have in the department, the Introductory Zoology, where she got her experience and intelligence in presenting the course to young university entrants every year until she left. The second core value that I know that we would have seen to interact with her is elegance. And finally, Professor Otubanjo just doesn't do things. She does them with style and voice. And I went to her office while she was still around one morning, and I saw her bringing out her lecture notes, well typed, bound in volumes. You know, my own lecture notes is handwritten. She is a very elegant and does things with style. And the program of today is a great testimony. I also want to acknowledge number 3, her drive and hard work. Professor Otubanjo can walk and can also make you walk. Those of us who serve now will testify of that fact. I remember when we were expecting an external examiner, and she told me you'll be helping out with the external examiner. And I came from home as early as to 8, and she was already there. And I thought coming into it, I thought much. She told me you were late. I said to her, the external examiner is not here now. She's a hard worker, and I want to appreciate that in her. The fourth core value I want to just appreciate is she's a disciplinarian, strict, no-nonsense attitude. But below that seemingly hard belly is a soft and loving heart, which all of us have learned to locate. I finally want to bring the last core value that I want to appreciate her for, and that's the love for justice and uprightness. You will find that always standing for justice and uprightness. I benefited from that core virtue. appreciate you again for standing with me and by me at a critical junction in my career. You will always be remembered for that. And the department really appreciates you for your contributions to the field of parasitology, the development of the science of zoology, the development of the Department of Zoology. I want to wish you a happy birthday. Your birthday was June 2nd. I also want to pray you a very successful retirement from office. I want to appreciate your distinguished service once again and pray for you, especially for more strength as you take more mountains. The biblical Caleb at the age of 85 was still taking mountains. And I pray that you will take more mountains. I want to congratulate Professor Otubanjo, the husband, for nurturing and I don't know if I should use the word mentor, but I think mentoring this great woman. I also really want to appreciate you for sharing this special day with us, and it will be a day that we will remember for you. I want to appreciate all our distinguished guests and thank you for celebrating with us. I want to say zoology is about life, and I want to wish all of you a good life. And once again, I welcome you and thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Valedictory. Prof, you now know what my Valedictory feels about you. A round of applause for that. And one of the things I would like to substantiate with what the Valedictory has said is the fact that she makes you work and work hard, but by the time you are through with her, you shine like a new day. A round of applause for that. Now, Shola, please would like to recognize some more people so that the house people can all to the main activity.
Thank you, Dr. Maswala. I'd like to recognize some guests and dignitaries that we have here seated. I'd like to start off with Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. Also like to recognize Dr. at the head of the department, I'd also like to recognize Dr. Florence Valedictory, the acting director of CITS in the world. And I'd like to recognize Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. Also, some of our dignitaries and important guests from Caleb University. I'd like to recognize Mrs. Olukoju, the Deputy Registrar for Caleb University. Also, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Josiah Betayo Adeoye, the University Librarian for Caleb University. We will take more recognition of guests as the program progresses. Swallow, over.
Thank you very much, Shola. I want to invite Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. She is the acting dean for today and the HOD of chemistry. She is going to give us the welcome address for the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Swala. the Dean, Professor Olubunmi, the Dean of Faculty of Science, who is unavoidably absent today because of some urgent duties. Before I go on, I want to recognize and welcome everybody, and in particular, my distinguished professors, Professor Professor Olubunmi Adetoro, you are welcome, sir. I also welcome the celebrants of today and the husband, Professor and Professor Olubunjo. You are welcome, sir, and you are welcome, sir. We also welcome the director of CICS and our team. Thank you for being here. I welcome all the deans represented from the University of Lagos, all the HODs that are here from the Faculty of Science and that are from the University at large. You are all welcome here. We also welcome all our colleagues from the Faculty of Science that are here to celebrate this epoch-making day with us. And we also like to welcome the family members and friends of Professor Otubanjo. You are most welcome, every one of you. Thank you so much. You are recognized and we welcome you to this university of first choice and the nation's pride. We welcome the university community as a whole. Thank you for being here. I welcome the pastor of Chapel of Christ and Light, Pastor Azuka Ogbonimani. Thank you for coming. You are so grateful. And the choir, thank you so much for all you have done around with me today during this program. We acknowledge the contribution, particularly of the members of the Zoology Department, to bring this together to celebrate one of our own, a great teacher and a great leader, Professor Otubanjo, who is an amazing personality that everybody knows around campus, especially at the Faculty of Science. Thank you, Faculty, Department of Zoology, headed by the HOD Professor Stanley. Thank you for putting this together. I'm not going to say much because I know that the HOD has said so much about the celebrants. And so we are just going to move on into the lecture. So on behalf of the VC and management team of the University of Lagos, we welcome everybody to the University of Lagos, the Faculty of Science, and to this public and valedictory lecture of Professor Otubanjo, which is trending every Monday as sojourn in academia. And I believe that at the end of this particular lecture, you have learned a lot about the experiences of our mother, Professor Otubanjo, as a zoologist. And then I think we have a lot of experience from it. So just sit back and relax and enjoy the lecture. Welcome everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another thing I want to add to the qualities of Professor Otubanjo is the fact that she's very meticulous in all ramifications. So shall I?
I'd like to at this point call Professor Eko, the coordinator for the Parasitology and Public Health Society in Nigeria, Southwest Nigeria. Please come over to the lecture. Please let's give him a round of applause once again.
Thank you, distinguished the chairman and the chairman of education, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I have this honor and privilege to read this citation dear mentor and Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo. Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo was born in Lagos on Friday, 2nd of June, 1950. She is an indigenous of Ikorodu, Lagos State. She had an elementary education partly in Nigeria, had attended St. Mary's Nursery Primary School, Lagos, and Girls School, Lagos, and St. Paul's Full Primary School, Shagamu. She completed her primary education in England. She came back to Nigeria and was enrolled at the Methodist Girls High School, Java, in 1963. Where she sat and passed the West African School Certificate Examination and the General Certificate of Education Examination in 1967. She joined Queen's College Java for her higher school certificate HSC. She was admitted to the University of Ibadan for culinary studies. All through academic credentials clearly show an impressive and unbroken record of brilliance and diligence. She obtained a Bachelor of Science honors degree in zoology, class upper from University of Ibadan. She presented University of College, Cardiff, University of Wales, now called University of Wales, University of Cardiff, South Wales, for a PhD in Parasitology, and concluded successfully in 1976. She then since then she has been in the academic environment mostly and has worked in 5 tertiary institutions in Nigeria. She was an academic member of staff of Department of Zoology, University of Ibadan for 15 years, and University of Lagos for 26 years, where she rose to the rank of a professor through date of art department. Prof. Otubanjo is incredible, hardworking, highly organized, notable resource person who is a good manager of staff and performs competently under pressure. This was evident during her tenure as HOD of Zoology. She is a recipient of several national and international scholarship awards and fellowships, some which are the most outstanding WAEC result at Methodist Girls High School, Yaba, 1967. Please a round of applause for that. Among the best 10 students in zoology invited to take the degree program in zoology, 1968. University of Ibadan Senior Research Grant, 1986. Federal Government Award, 1963 to 1972 to study Bachelor of Science degree in zoology at University of Ibadan. German Government Award, 1972. Lagos State Scholarship Award, Excellent Student Award for PhD degree, 1972 to 1976. Welcome Trust Grant in the United Kingdom, 1972 and 1986 to study zoonosis. Welcome Grant Nigeria, 1986 to study parasite of bats. University of Ibadan Senior Research Grant, 1984. British Arizona Natural History Doctor Research Support 1986 and 2004, both for electron microscopy studies of parasites. Shell Award sponsoring constitution to all major universities in 2009. National University Commission NUC Book Support 2009. She also received Central Research Committee Laws of Lagos in 2012, 2016, and 2017. A round of applause for her professor. She is a fellow of Zoology Society of Nigeria 2018, advisor to National University of Lagos State Students, University of Lagos Chapter 2020, Best Teacher Award in Zoology, the National Association of Zoology Students 2009, member Lagos State Malaria Control Committee for 8 years. Member Governing Council, Lagos University, 2016 to 2018. Member Governing Council, Taylor University, Limota, 2015 till date. She is a member of several learning societies locally and international, which include Parasitology and Public Health Society of Nigeria, PPSN, Zoological Society of Nigeria, British Society for Parasitology, the Royal Society of Tropical Medicine of Nigeria, United Kingdom, American Society of Veterinary Parasitology, Society for Environmental Mitigation and Promotion Management Sector, amongst others which for time we cannot mention now. Please, again, a round of applause. She is a fellow of Zoological Society of Nigeria and Parasitology Public Health Society of Nigeria. She has several leadership and administrative positions within and outside the academic environment. Apart from being a wonderful academician and administrator, Professor Olubunmi is also an astute researcher who insists on quality research, non-fragmentation of publication. She has an unquestionable task for knowledge. She has over 75 scientific articles published in peer-reviewed journals locally and internationally. She has published 2 textbooks which are widely used in parasitology and medical student teachers, researchers in tertiary institutions across Nigeria. A first-rate and versatile teacher throughout preparation of excellent learning, who managed to capture and sustain the interest of generation of students. Professor Olubunmi continued to create and make indelible impression in the minds of several generations of students. She has mentored and supervised over 400 students at undergraduate and postgraduate level. Many of them are doing well in their chosen profession. I want to say that I'm privileged to be the first PhD student produced by Professor Olubunmi. She's a professor of professors, having mentored postgraduate students who are now professors in the different institutions in the country. She has earned, in superlative terms, the appreciation of her colleagues and students through unflinching devotion to her chosen career. Her hobbies are interior decoration and design, geography, travel, reading, watching classical movies, and fellowshipping with other Christians. She is a married counselor and she's well traveled. She's a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo with another round of applause.
La
an important personality just said that all. So please, can we just stand up? I want to ask the Vice Chancellor of this great university, sitting amongst the unshakable. As I'm talking, please be clapping his comments. Professor Olubunmi FAS to declare the lecture open. Sir. A round of applause.
My job is very easy, but I need to apologize for coming in late. The 10 o'clock I have about 3 meetings and people scheduled for me. And I have to attend this one because this is science matter. Anything concerning science, we have been taught by our leaders that must pay special attention to any program from science. We have a professor interview. So I'll just be here for a short time. But let me recognize the former chairman of the Chapel Prize Award, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo, that we are celebrating today. It's not our mind, it's not our power, it's just by the mercy of the Almighty God. And also, Professor Otubanjo, thank you, sir, for always being there. Professor Olubunmi and Professor Olubunmi, who is like the bachelor of student. I don't know why you have this people here. I think head of the Department of Chemistry. They are going to leave this room. Because this room now is, you know what I mean? Believe that God is the merciful unto. These are the people, and I want to celebrate you now. I interacted with you when you are head of department. Very fun, unique person, a scholar, contrite, dependable, somebody that when she says yes, it is yes. When she says no, it is no. So as you are being celebrated today, I pray that the Almighty God will continue to show mercy. Because the scripture says that even at old age, they will bring forth good fruit. So I declare this lecture open to the glory of God and the blessing of mankind. And the children too, I want to celebrate it too, for being part of this celebration. Every one of us, Dr. Adebayo, a retiree too, congratulations that the great years are coming out, and it's for wisdom. God bless us all.
A round of applause. He's a member of Faculty of Science. Anywhere we go, he goes. A round of applause for this. Now it's time for the lecture. I invite Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo to give our lecture. So sit tight and enjoy the lecture.
College of Medicine, Registrar and other principal officers, deans of faculties, heads of department, my head of department, fellow professors and other academics, my past and current colleagues, my past and future students, great my family and siblings in Nigeria and in the diaspora, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the day the Lord has made. Today I stand before you to present my valedictory lecture as a public address due to the prevailing conditions of our time, the COVID-19 pandemic. The title of my presentation is Climbing Every Mountain, My Sojourn in Academia, Reminiscences of a Zoologist. Today I am here to state my contribution to the image, teachings, research and progress of some tertiary institutions, particularly the University of Lagos, the University of First Choice, and the nation's pride. This is not just an idea, it is the true thing about University of Lagos, foremost university in Nigeria. When I was young, as a teenager, I watched some movies and films that have made lasting impact on me, and one of these is Sound of Music, whose leading actor was Julie Andrews. Watching classical movie was the rave of the mid-60s in Nigeria. Going to the cinema was one of the greatest pleasures of living in Lagos at the time. Another alternative was to visit Kingsway Store, the only superstore or place with an escalator, for a treat of Coca-Cola and popcorn, the famous Kingsway meat pies and succulent donuts. The Sound of Music was a great musical, full of melodious songs. I have lost count of the number of times I have watched that movie. The song which struck me the most was the one which the title Climb Every Mountain. Its lesson is that life is laden with endless mountain ranges, which must prime ourselves to climb and surmount. It was an inspirational message which Maria, as a nanny, sang to the children of the Bontrap family. It is a message that is relevant today and for all times. The journey of life is that of climbing mountains, surmounting challenges and obstacles, both big and small. I consider my journey through academia as that of climbing the numerous mountains no testimony. Many people consider mountains as stumbling blocks, are able to obtain promotion and success. So mountain is a necessity. The greater the mountain, a stepping stone, the greater is the testimony. As you have been told, I have worked in 5 universities in Nigeria and 1 abroad as a demonstrator. In Ibadan, the premier university, I obtained my first degree, BSc in zoology. From then on, I became CC University, as fondly called by my beloved father, Chief Samuel Olatunji Kamsi, aka SOK, and has now been transformed to Mama in the university by my heavenly Father. So you should mind what you call your children. Over 5 decades, I spent exactly a century plus 3 years in tertiary institutions, at numerous places at home and abroad. It has been a life of numerous memories and appreciation of God's goodness, faithfulness, and mercies. The ivory tower has been home to me. I was fortunate to escape the NYSC by 1 year, and immediately after my BSc, I traveled to the United Kingdom. I was invited by my external examiner, because we used to have external examiner from the United Kingdom. I was invited by Professor to undertake research in physiology in Nottingham University. However, my heart troubles per day is today, as you have been told, was banned for the University College Card, as he was invited by his supervisor, Dr. Pratt, following his graduate assistantship at the Obafemi Awolowo University, formerly University of Ife. So, I took a train back to Cardiff, met the head of the Department of Zoology, got interviewed and admitted on the same day for a PhD parasitology degree that I requested for. I was supervised by Emeritus Professor David Erasmus, who incorporated me in his welcome and European grant, and I commenced immediately on the electron microscope study of schistosomiasis. My academic career commenced in September 1976 at the University of Ibadan after obtaining the so-called Golden Fleece. I achieved through the vividly turbulent, sometimes exciting and memorable channels of life in the cold, windy, wet, but beautiful Welsh landscapes of Southwest, where few blacks were resident. I now understand that the University of Cardiff has become a destination for academic pursuits by Nigerians. I had always celebrated my birthday one way or the other. I celebrated the landmark birthday of my 60th birthday with my inaugural lecture. But came COVID-19 in 2020. And we were locked down. And I was privileged to celebrate only on Zoom with my siblings, some members of my zoology family, and friends. We thank God that the pandemic is receding, or is it subsiding? When I teach disease prevalence as a parasitologist, I risk over pandemics, defining it and giving some examples because I could not then appreciate its colossal on every sphere of our lives. Now, I know you from the various dimensions. Ebola was actually an epidemic, not a pandemic, though it was threatening to be a pandemic, but we now know what COVID-19 has done. For me, the lockdown has been a changing experience in my life. When we studied in those days, we had scholarships at our disposal. Students use more scholarship, bursary, or grants to study or do research. You pick and choose in those days. I used the federal government scholarship for my first degree. I had the benefit of 3 scholarship awards for my PhD, the German scholarship, the Commonwealth scholarship, and the Lagos State scholarship. On completion of my postgraduate program, my instinct was to return to my motherland, the land of promise, Nigeria. That is what the reverse of what we see today. I was offered employment at the end of my postgraduate study in the United Kingdom by 3 universities: University of Ilorin, University of Ife, and University of Ibadan. I was interviewed and given employment in the London office of the University of Ibadan, United Kingdom, and handed a flight ticket to return to Ibadan to take up appointment. In Unilag, when I arrived, I was out for several months, I think it was 7 months, in the university guest houses with free food. I was given a brand new car to undertake my research. I was provided a 1-month salary advance. And I was also given a car loan to buy my Subaru 5-gear coupe. When I moved from the guest houses, I was given a furnished apartment to live in. That was the university I knew. Job satisfaction, conducive environment, and peace of mind made up the package. The protocol was excellent, starting with the university registrar, then Chief Okudu. Things were ordered and predictable. I didn't need to ask for favors as the system worked. Then it brings me to ask, can we have a return to those days? I also remember the kindness of Professor Olubunmi Adetoro who offered my husband a job after interacting with him at the staff club when he came home at Christmas of 1976. Many vital decisions, I must say, are made at the staff club. The process of formal recruitment was handled with promptness, and his relocation to Nigeria was handled seamlessly by the passing his office. Those were the good old days. My destinations in academia, we have been told there are 5 universities. I spent 15 years at the University of Ibadan. I went on sabbatical to 2 universities, Olabisi Otubanjo University and the National Open University. I have spent 26 years of my career at the University of Lagos. And it became my promised land. So I have spent totally more than 50 years in academia. That is half a century. That is quite a lifetime. So I can say that the university is my world. I know no other world than the university. I have enjoyed marvelous and thrilling by God's grace. My career has taken me to many places in Nigeria and abroad. I have been on so many conferences, I've also been on sabbatical abroad. The only places that I have not been is Asia and Australia. Events on my journey. Every promotion I had was in big maintenance, particularly with no godfather. Even when things looked okay, university had no governing council to approve the decision of the appointments and promotion committee. But God has been gracious. I reached the end of the tunnel. I contributed my modest quota in administration at the various universities in various capacities, producing proactive and purposeful leadership, particularly assaulting Faculty of Science, University of Ibadan, as head of Department Lagos State University, where I had a brief journey of 4 years, as head of department and head of unit in the Department of Zoology. That brings me to ask again, are our universities still centers of excellence? Are our lecturers passionate about teaching, or is it just a job? Is the university culture still afloat? These are the questions that cross my mind. Since the inception of my career, I have always yearned and prayed to present both inaugural and valedictory lectures, which are part of the traditions of the university. I had been privileged to give an inaugural lecture that was titled Perpetual War Against Parasites, a research excursion on my 68th birthday celebration. Today, my valedictory lecture, because of COVID, is a public address. Indeed, a farewell address to the academic community, thanks to the head of department, Professor J.K. Salim, and all colleagues in the Department of Zoology, University of Lagos, who have organized this wonderful talk and celebration. I am thankful and indebted to the Vice Chancellor for the use of this auditorium where I did my book launch free of charge. Thank you, sir. To my knowledge, this is the first known celebrated valedictory lecture in the Faculty of Science. The second public address in the Department of Zoology, which was presented by Professor Malaka. This is a big difference. There is a big difference between a valedictory lecture and a send-off, which entails the rolling out of drums, the consumption of pandemia, and the exchange of gifts. I am glad to get the combination these days. Thank you for addressing this beautiful occasion. A valedictory lecture is a tradition in university, and I consider it to be nostalgic and worthy of emulation. It is more than an academic, it is more of an academic autobiography of the lecturer, indicating some contemporary issues related to the university and the nation as a whole. The essence of the valedictory lecture to me is an endeavor in preserving excellence that should characterize a citadel of learning. The lecture has no specific content or stipulated style. It can be related to the pens down that we have in the civil service. This lecture will encompass my academic experience reflections on zoology, particularly parasitology, and my impression of the Nigerian tertiary institutions of the millennium. There is a table showing there that shows the various, some of the various duties that are back. Phases of my sojourn. I categorize, as is typical in zoology, my sojourn into three. My foundational years, which was spent in University of Ibadan, where I developed my teaching experience. During that time, there were more of expatriates in the Department of Zoology than now. We had people like Mrs. Hill, Dr. Olga, Dr. Sidian, Dr. Powell, and only two Nigerians, Professor Kali and Professor Toye, became the Vice Chancellor in Ilorin, and also Professor Fagadi. This foundational phase was followed by my transitional phase, which was the year I spent in Lasso. This was very turbulent and witnessed incidences of travail. The instability due to staff and student turmoils and strikes and the frustrations experienced created confusion in me about my future to make specific resolutions on the way forward, whether to stay in academics or go into business, as I was from a family of entrepreneurs. Then it leads to my third phase, my consolidation of what I call the maturity phase, which is University of Lagos that became my promised land. I have enjoyed the seasoned experience and maturity in my career during this year. I am still in the last phase, mind you, and I believe I will continue to live a seasoned academic existence through Zoom meetings, as I know no other job or life. I intend to remain in academic domain if Jesus tarries. My life has been modeled by personal and social aspirations, frustrations, and challenges. These experiences gave me the strength and capacity to forge on. Adaptation is an important feature of living organisms. I am grateful and contented with my basket because the Lord has made my last days in the ivory tower peaceful, fulfilling, joyful, and above all, healthy. I am presently enjoying the liberty, the freedom, and the rest of retirement. I have retired in the true sense by taking it easy. It was difficult waking up this morning and getting here for 9 o'clock. Going after my aspirations at my own pace without the usual deadlines. Mr. BC, usual deadlines, schedules, and pressures. With due respect to the BC. Enjoying the serenity, joy, and peace of God. I hope to spend the time visiting new places, watching new and old movies, creating websites, and maybe writing more books. Although my students, I must confess, are neither keen on reading nor interested in buying books. During my academic sojourn, I have worn many coats, a coat of many colors, like the biblical Joseph. The university provides all-round experience in making lecturers not only teachers, but mentors, counselors, authors, researchers, administrators, managers, leaders, and maybe even entrepreneurs. The list is endless, and the joy is exciting. I have been always If you are good at handling assignments, you get more assignments. That's the university policy. This is how the system works. That is why some people are busier than others. This system should be adopted nationally, but should exclude favoritism and bitter politics. Honest service should be given without influences of any form, such as financial, gender factors, as is sometimes evident even in the ivory tower. This takes me to a sensitive issue: gender inequality in academia. Gender inequality, which prevails in the larger society, still occurs in the ivory tower, but it is anticipated that it will be eroded before the expiration of this decade, as our female members of staff are not giving up and are up to the task, as the number of lecturers is on the increase. Nigeria is bound for change. The need to feminize our politics as a people with great potential is necessary. This must also include detribalizing the polity. With all diverse duties in academia, a woman is also expected to be a wife and mother, who will clean, who care, a coach for the children, a student herself, a helpmate. That is what women are still expected to do. We are wonderfully created. We women are intricately and wonderfully made. We are indeed beautifully made by God. According to the anthem of the Women Fellowship of the University of Lagos Chapel Protestant, I can state categorically that we are indeed the updated version of the man, even though we women are made from just one rib. Were made from more ribs. The symbol of female as a force, indicating additional attributes of the so-called feeble sex. However, we appreciate our loving and committed men folks for their support and encouragement. We work better with their loving cooperation. They are providing tender loving care to meet our daily needs. Now, career in zoology. We'll see the table, the figure there. I don't know whether they protect them. The figure showing us the various roles of the university lecturer. My career in zoology. My dream of a profession was architecture, as I love to draw and design. But I was told it was not a domain for women at that time. I was not ready for any program or career, either in geology or biochemistry. The idea of biochemistry was dropped, since it was rumored that sexual harassment right in the department. But fortunately, by divine intervention, I was invited to take zoology by the department. I never knew I would study zoology. I was invited because I was among the best 10 students in that year in zoology. What is zoology? Zoology is not the same thing as zoo. There is a great misunderstanding about zoology, particularly among parents and colleagues. Many students who are ignorant of what zoology is, they call it that I'm in zoo. Zoo is an enclosure or a place where you keep animals. So you are not in zoo, you are in zoology. And zoology is very broad, dealing with knowledge of animal life and their interaction with the environment. There are 45 areas minimally in the study of zoology, as you will see in the illustration made by my favorite who is now Dr. Ifeanyi. The scope and applicability of zoology are limitless and unending, covering diverse aspects of animal life, every area component of sustainable development. And that's why when we talk about the Millennium Development Goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, we are also coming into the area of zoology. In zoology, we are doing God's assignments. When you go through Genesis, there are 3 assignments given at creation, and they are all zoological. The first one is that we should give names, nomenclature of all living things. Genesis 2:19. Secondly, the management of the animals. Animal husbandry was assigned to us. Thirdly, taking dominion and subduing and conserving the animals. That was in Genesis 1:22-26. And God said, let these animals multiply. We are not supposed to make them extinct. They are supposed to multiply. There are several opportunities in zoology. Zoologists have been also known to be bankers. My student and personal assistant, Mr. Nkadede, a first-class student, is now a banker, and we have so many of them in the banking industry. Our students are consolidated for great arts. There are many areas of zoology. Some of our students are parasitology, entomology, conservation, and so on. When you watch the Geographic Channel on TV, on DSTV, you find that they are giving grants, thousands of grants to biologists for research, for study, and for survey. So we have them all over. I will take my sojourn in the University of Ibadan. I was young when I joined UAG, too young in those days, so I had to be careful. I think Professor Olubunmi can be a witness to that. When I joined UAG immediately after my PhD, I was very fresh, diligent, and focused, determined to establish my expatriate and Nigerian teachers and mentors that the academic investment in me had yielded dividends. I taught many areas of zoology as I accepted without query or opposition, as all teaching assignments were done. My teaching load was enormous but enjoyable, as it allowed me to spread my wings into various areas. I could teach any area, apart from my area of specialization. And this helped me further in my career. As if that was not enough, I singularly taught applied biology to medical technologies at the University College Hospital for several years for a token allowance. All this involvement meant limited time for research. The academic policy was published or perish. I did not have the privilege of being mentored to publish by anybody, so I went on my own pace. Also, the electron microscope facilities were not functionally available in Nigeria. I had several personal and medical and family commitments to shoulder. My promotion was slow, but Jesus is never and was not. However, teaching, reading, learning for me was fun. For instance, I was promoted in one instance because I was not promoted in one instance because all my publications, although international, were single author, and I was told to collaborate to move up to senior lecturer. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for authored. Then I started a collaboration with a first-class student, Dr. Kunle Musu, a geneticist, evaluating the mutagenicity of different anti-parasitic drugs, combining genetics and parasitology. I left Ibadan because of personal challenges as I got ready for my promotion to associate professor. Despite these challenges and frustrations, the days in Ibadan were golden with pleasant memories of the department and colleagues who have been there if not for the pandemic. They have made friends and families. Unilag was a sociable, colonial, or friendly community. I also remember today Mrs. Tayo Ikoton, who visited me every blessed day. In the time of my adversity, my junior was indeed my friend. I was far away from all my families, and she was the only person who cared. In the university, the infrastructure was of international standards. Research grants were readily available. I benefited from internal and external grants as stated in the citation. I also benefited from grants from UNICEF, Site Savers, etc. for research in collaboration with Professor Eka Ray, who is the current president of the Academy of Science, who was then the president of Parasitology and Public Health Society. Traveling every holiday to do my research with electron microscopes abroad, I am grateful to the British Museum of Natural History for their support and grants in facilitating my research. I will always be grateful to my alma mater, the University of Ibadan, that will remain precious in my eyes as they continue to extend the frontiers of knowledge. The Lagos State University. When I got there, I realized that universities operated at different levels in the country. When I moved to Lagos, thanks to the National University Commission, the gap in standards in universities are being reduced. In LASU, I have senior logistical ordeals. My visit to LASU in recent years have, however, shown that they have been emancipated from their old self. While in LASU, staff strikes and students' unrest were rampant. Imagine driving from Alagomeji, where I reside, to Ojo, only to find the gates of the university closed or blocked with a tractor due to students' unrest. The horrendous traffic of Westa and Mantua added to other burdens of the soul. As the head of department, I had to get to work daily. I had to develop driver strategies on the route to take to work. Sometimes I go through Apapa, sometimes I go through Agege, sometimes I go through Ikeja. It was really terrible. Productivity in research was minimal as all efforts, or is it struggles, were yet to teaching and getting to work. I result in academia. If after 5 years, I did not get a suitable job in another university. Once again, I left LASU and missed my promotion again, though I was being processed and evaluated for associate professor. I think Dr. Shola Shibona also had the same experience. When I got to Unilag, she kept on telling me, please, I want to come to Unilag. The one place that was outstanding and cherished by me in LASU during my 5 years tenure in the institution was the university library. Under the management of Mr. Tunde Sebili, the born to my dear and best friend, Mrs. Lively Amon. Please kindly stand. As a Lagos State indigenous, I am particularly happy that LASU has now developed its infrastructure and university culture extremely well in the last 2 decades. I wish them continued academic vigor and progress. To my promised land, the University of Lagos. After the despair and discouragement I experienced in my sojourn in LASU, I was motivated by renewed commitment to academic career. My husband reminded me that obtaining a PhD at 26 years old, which was considerably young then, I had no choice but to reach the pinnacle of my career and become a professor, or else I would forever live an unfulfilled life. Today, I am a fulfilled person, having likely actualized the academic potential which God Almighty kindly and graciously deposited in me. Unilag has always been home to me. My uncle, J.F. Kamsi, had an industry from the front gate to past ISL, but the land was was acquired by government for the University of Lagos. He made a substantial sacrifice because then the industry, the Kansas singlet industry, collapsed. Also, I was a student in UI. I visited the University Library of the University of Lagos for reading during my long vacation. Then we had long vacation. We had 2.5 months to 3 months vacation for the holidays. I used to enjoy the carol of cubicles in the library as it provided privacy while reading. Then it was public libraries were all over. We had public libraries in Abatapoli, 2 actually in Abatapoli. And when I was in Queen's College, that was the excuse we used to get out of the hostel. We are going to the library. Thank God, I am here today to state my contribution to the teaching, image, and progress of the University of First Choice and the nation's pride. I actually did not want to leave UI. I did not plan to leave UI. But destiny had a different plan for me. And I thank God for his divine intervention. On getting to Lagos, I was resolved to stay in Lagos. When I secured the job in Unilag, I had a church thanksgiving for taking away the burden of the daily travel to a job and giving me a new start in my state. I must particularly at this point thank Emeritus Professor Olubunmi, who was outgoing Dean, Professor Olubunmi, who was then the Dean of Science, for processing my applications. I also appreciate the then head of the department, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro, who was then an external examiner in LASU. I have worked with several heads of department in zoology. They are listed, this kindly presents them there. And I have also worked with my current editor, who took over the mantle of leadership from me in 2008. As head of department in Unilag, I was initially head of unit when the department was a unit in the Department of Biological Sciences. Then, when it became a department, I became also HOD. And we did many things during the time. We had so many things, because that was the period of our accreditation. As you will see over there, we renovated the zoological garden, established full departmental instrumentation rooms for our equipment. Then you see representative will not believe that we own all the equipment. Renovated and furnished the postgraduate laboratory, acquired teaching aids and inverter to boost our undergraduate and postgraduate teaching. And we also established research stations for different units in the garden. At that accreditation year, we scored 91.6% in the LGC. It's a pity the DC has gone. We have a bus, but we need a car. I'm sure that will be transmitted to you. We need a car. Thank you in advance for a car for the department. When I was head of the department, I enjoyed doing the work because it was said before me. Unilag was a conducive environment. We had the availability of collaborators and postgraduate students, which they didn't have in Unilag in last year at that time. So Unilag was a good place to work, and it's still a good place to work. But my major frustration with Unilag is that some people remember that you are not an alumni or a pioneer worker in Unilag when something good and rewarding is to be given out. A poor criterion for sharing the goodies when it shows up. That is a sad aspect of the ivory tower politics. Also, my promotion was delayed for some years. In Unilag, when we didn't have a university governing council, so you can see what happened in the last few years. The absence of the university governing council means that you cannot be promoted. And that's why the staff were actually concerned about it. My story will not be complete without Moremi O. I became the all-mistress of Moremi O. I was actually drafted into Moremi O. The then Vice Chancellor did not give us a chance to refuse because I was appointed after the student riots and the inferno of our distinguished Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. Please stand up. You survived it. You survived it. One time retired. So everybody was afraid of students. So the Vice Chancellor then Professor Olubunmi Adetoro drafted academic staff and appointed facility managers to manage the student halls of residence. Professor Emeritus Francis Fajemi gave us this news. We didn't get a letter, we were drafted, we were commanded. Before the appointment, I had always avoided Moremi because of the several stories I had heard about it. I avoided it by coming through the second gate of the university. With no choice, I took up the assignment by the month with my hostel management, Dr. Mrs. Adetoro, who was then the all-body, Mrs. Iliaboma, please stand up for recognition. And with our facility manager, as we took up the Moremi Hall, and then an old man was added in the Moremi Hall management, Mr. Tokola. Please kindly stand up for recognition. So we worked and declared Moremi Hall for cards. All the glory for the things we did in Moremi Hall goes to God, because we declared it for Christ. And through God's grace, we transformed the image of Moremi Hall of residence. Aristos were banned from our borders. As we man, we carve every evening I was always stressed for 9 good years. I think the various university agencies forgot to take or deliberately refused to take the team in Moremio because we were doing a good job. Every female student wanted an allocation in the hostel. Moremio became the gold standard for other hostels in Unilag. I worked with 3 deans of students affairs, Professor Longe, Professor Amon, Distinguished Professor Amon, and Professor J. Babawale. I also worked with 4 vice chancellors as all ministers. Emeritus Professor Adetoro Otubanjo, Professor Olubunmi, Professor Adetoro Otubanjo, and Professor Ramon Bey. Professor Otubanjo used to call me Momiwa in reference to the work done at Moremio. We acquired and created Moremio Gardens from the young years of telephone booths with the support of Seminole. Seminole built the house that is now called Coca-Cola in Moremio. So we should note that. That place should be called Moremio Garden, not Coca-Cola Garden. We enjoyed a lot in Moremio. I became a builder based on the experience that I acquired as an apprentice from my father. Moremio was exciting and exhilarating. The story of my sojourn, we had the whole week, we had daily morning inspection like an hostel round. Unofficial members of Moremio projects included Professor Mrs. Odeyemi, who was a deputy registrar, Mrs. Achiwa, who is a counselor in the university, Dr. Mrs. Ayeni Biowo was our unofficial member of the Moremio project. She came in every day and she helped us, she prayed, she did counseling and so on. I am particularly pleased to compliment Mrs. Mahodo. I don't know how many conflicts she resolved because our students are very territorial. They are always fighting. And every day, please let us give us a hand. She resolved so many conflicts. Thank you very much. I think you should be commended by the university for your participation and efforts in Moremio. I now want to talk about the Chapel of Christ and Life Protestant, which is a part of the university. We call it the headquarters of heaven, where kingdom-minded people are there for excellence in life. I appreciate the chaplain who was there and said the opening prayer, Reverend Dr. Azuka Olubunmi. Please stand with me. I thank all the other pastors that assisted in the chaplaincy. I particularly want to remember my friend, his wife, Sisi Lola. May the Lord bless you. I appreciate Professor Olubunmi, who was once also chairman of the church. I must say that while I appreciate Professor Olubunmi, he phoned me on my birthday, even though lockdown was down. He phoned me and shared me up, and I know that I'm living in a community of Christians. Then I want to remember the deanship election. I was the first woman to campaign for the elected post of the dean in the Faculty of Science. But alas, I lost by a small margin of votes. I think it was 9 or 13 votes. To my brother, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. Our present acting dean today is the second contestant for the position of dean in in the Faculty of Science. We must break that yoke. The women must be given a chance to put the women church. But having the lost, little did I know that God had another plan. The manifestation which has a long-lasting impact on me, my children, and my children unborn. Praise be to our God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the great provider, my El Shaddai. Destiny is different from desire. No wonder our Lord's prayer says, thy will be done. I have had sabbatical leaves in various places for my research, British Museum of Natural History, University College, Wales, under various supports. I spent my second sabbatical in Oladisi. But during my third sabbatical, something very important came up. I decided to write books. And I commenced the writing of my books, Parasitology of Man and Animals, and Elements of Parasitology. These are supported by various organizations. Shell organizations supported it. NUC also did so, and also individuals. My welfare. This lecture also must incorporate my welfare. While I acknowledge all the management staff over the years in the university aside, my lecture cannot be complete without the mention of academic staff union of universities. I wish to singularly appreciate them, those who have fought for my welfare in the ivory tower. Otherwise, I would have been tempted to seek greener pastures. And Luther unto you is the only politics I played while in the ivory tower. The government had never been proactive in regularizing our salaries in relation to inflation. Academic staff union of universities had to speak, shout, and struggle for any change here. So they were the ones doing the Sorosoke for us. Well done to all the executives of the ASU locally and nationally. You cannot stay in the ivory tower if you need a Ghana must go for your monthly income. You must cut your vote according to your material, even with the so-called consolidated salary. I retired at the age of 70 years old because the union demanded and fought for it. While retiring from the university, I can assure you that I will not withdraw from academics. Professors do not retire. They just leave the chair in their offices to the next occupant. I hope Professor Olubunmi is enjoying the care. Now we have professionals in different spheres of business retiring from their career to become professors in the university. They love the ivory tower and its glory. Professorship is cherished in every society. Therefore, it is important that we sustain the age-long culture and traditions of the university. Respect, integrity, and honesty are the key virtues in the ivory tower. Because of time, the history of zoology is in the booklet and is projected. The Department of Fisheries and Marine Science was crafted for it. So we have the evolution in the species. But but I would like to mention some points. That our students have improved in terms of performance since the options have been made and written on their certificates. We have quite a great number of first-class students coming up in recent years. So we thank God for that. To increase the benefits of students for employment, I advocate the incorporation of entrepreneurial zoology and economic zoology into the zoology programs to assist our students who desire to be self-employed. There are a number of challenges to our students, but for the students, I want it to be noted that it is important that a 4-year program is the minimum year required for the acquisition of their degree of graduation. The calculation of the cumulative grade point average, GPA, does not integrate the number of years. The number of challenges that we have that impact performance, they are page 31 of the booklet. So we read them. And when I taught some other courses, I taught teaching parasitology. I'm still teaching parasitology. Teaching parasitology has given me great pleasure. And in parasitology, we are given in line with the WHO roadmaps. We are also teaching areas of disease control, eradication, and elimination, which are integrated into the Millennium Development Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals. So our university, the University of Fort George, is on the right path. Parasitology teaching has changed over time. Change is inevitable. The past and present future of parasitology knowledge, practice and research have changed and will continue to change. And we will change with it. The WHO, that is the World Health Organization, is a forerunner in elucidation of concepts, content, and contents of the 21st century human parasitology. And we are following in line. To remain in academia, one must be prepared to be a lifelong student or learner. When we look at the Sustainable Development Goals, they are 17 in number. They are being taught and they are advocated for disease control in our program. The various goals consider poverty as the main challenge to overcome for sustainable development. There are 4 things that we need to develop in our nation: water supply, improved sanitation, quality health services, and education. These are the indices of development. We must get it right. Water, sanitation, health services, and education. So we need to do something drastic. We are too donor dependent in the way we control and prevent diseases. We rely on other nations, NGOs, international agencies like UNICEF, USAID, SciSaver to come and help us. We need to sit up and do something. Challenges in parasitology. The demand and need for new tools in parasitic disease diagnostics, control and treatment are on the increase. There is an increasing trend of zoonotic and opportunistic infections based on the global human mobilities and interrelationship of man and animals. The importance of climate on disease distribution and prevalence is noteworthy, as we see in the figure. Like I said earlier, there is too much dependence on donors. Also, we have poor allocation of funds in the national budget for health. And very little, even of the little, is committed to disease prevention. So we need to do that. Then we must be cautious about the biological applicability of control. The mosquitoes, the genetically modified mosquitoes, they are very big, they are a nuisance, so we must be cautious before we start using them for our disease control. There are other prevailing factors that affect disease control. That is, these are sociological relations, which we are all familiar with today, insecurity and economic factors. This must be addressed by our country. I was forced to teach toxicology and environmental management because we had staff shortage in the department. But I put it to advantage. The postgraduate students that were allocated to me had to do projects that had a combination of toxicology and parasitology. We use the toxicology as biomarkers for the parasitological research. In addition to the previous traditional challenges of developing nations, we have climate change, we have increased problems of human health, safety, general security, food security, and famine. Now to my research activities. My research activities, well, I had several field surveys. I worked on systemizing all the NCPs, the coordinator, the national coordinator for please, I did mapping with my members of sarcosis and loasis in 5 states. Kogi State, Lagos State, Osun State, and so on. I did consultant work for Lagos State University Malaria Control Committee for 8 years. We did susceptibility studies of mosquitoes, toxicological evaluation of preventive tools, looking at repellents, insecticides. We worked on Otampiapia to see the toxicological effect of people. And we did genetic biodiversity of malaria, insecticides, and anti-parasitic effectiveness. So I'm particularly happy to say that Professor collaborated with me, and we were able to co-supervise a PhD student, late Dr. Olubunmi Adetoro, who worked in our department. Well, I've been told that I should speed up. So we are all here to beat NTDs. NTDs are the neglected tropical diseases that we have in Nigeria. I was fortunate to supervise many MSc projects, over 200 students in Ibadan, Unilag, last one, and so on. Because I was able to have zoology students as well to work for me in parasitology. 11 PhD students have been mentored and supervised in Unilag. A table showing us all the MSCs. Some of the PhD students are here today. Please kindly stand up for recognition. Please stand up. Very much for coming. I attended conferences all over the world. I attended the tropical disease conference in Bamako, Gambia. I also attended the African Union conference that the President of America, Clinton, gave me, and then I went to Denver in my last year there. Some of the postgraduate students are now professors. Professor Amadi, Professor Modi, Professor Kenopara, Professor Oyekoke, Professor Titus Ogusi, Professor James Atere, all that are supervised in UI, and Professor Itido from Unilag. Because I have spent so much time, I hope you will be able to read the booklet. I wish to go to acknowledgements. I thank God for this day, the Alpha, the Omega, who spared my life severally to attain this height and reach the finishing line of my career unblemished. It has only been by His grace. I thank my parents, Chief Samuel Olatubi Kamsin, and my mother, Alaja Katulawa, for taking care of me and for ensuring that I reach my goal. I thank my husband, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo, and my children, Adiola and Oluwakitan, my grandchildren, Oluwakitan and Oluwatola, are appreciated for their companion, love, and support at every stage of our lives. I appreciate Professor Kayode and Professor Olatai for their support and mentorship. I appreciate my families, the councils, the Obato, the Otubanjo, and the Otubanjo class. I thank my sisters that are here gathered. Mrs. Bimbola Jekoda, let's stand up for recognition. Mrs. Shadea Dennis, thank you very much for coming and for your support all the time. I thank and appreciate my colleagues in the University of Ibadan. I thank the old girls of Methodist Girls High School, represented here by Mrs. Olayo. She doesn't want to stand up, she's looking at you. You will stand up today, show this kind of and our lovely husband. I thank all my colleagues in the various departments where I serve in different tertiary institutions. Last but not least, my diverse students through the journey of life in the ivory tower. They made me recognize that they identified with voice in me. Even in the marketplace, they were the passion that kept the light going. Without them, this lecture will not exist. We are climbing the mountains together in one form or the other. My old students should please kindly stand. Are there no students here? Okay, all the students are not. I have communications with the groups and intimate association since I retired. However, the link is unbreakable. Please let us continue to interact. Many people make diverse impacts in academic research. Because of time, I will just read some of them. I have my postgraduate students, all my PhD students. I particularly wish to thank Professor Itido. It was not just my student, it was my prayer partner. He was with me through thick and thin. Please kindly stand up and say thank you. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Olubunmi just came. I thank him. He was a member of my day. He was also chairman of the chapel committee. And I have done several things. Thank you very much, Professor. Also, Parasitology and Public Health Society of Nigeria, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro. I appreciate your representation, Professor Olubunmi. I thank my friends, Mrs. Laide Amade, Mrs. Tutu. I thank you, please stand up for recognition. I thank my friend, Mrs. Fumi, and I wish all from you, I will all of you from you. Thank you very much. I thank members of Christmas Close, represented by Professor Adetoro Otubanjo, the former Provost College of Medicine, my classroom colleagues, Professor Akidemi and Oyefuolu. I thank members of the Senate, Unilag Senate that are here. I also, though she's not here, the Mama of Faculty of Science, Emeritus Professor Olubunmi, I thank her. She was a source of inspiration to me when I got here. I also wish to thank Professor Chukwu, LOC, who was my neighbor in the office, Professor Tidia Apata, retired Mochade, and Professor Abuapa. We always have morning gist before we start work. And also Professor Amu. I thank Professor Olubunmi for his support, Professor Yemi Elijah, the Dean of Science. I thank Dr. Kemapota, the chairman of this celebration. And I thank members of the Governing Council of Caleb University, the Vice Chancellor. I thank the representative, Mrs. Odu, and the Deputy, and the librarian. I also thank Dr. Ladega Adebobo. I have not been privileged to meet him in person, but he decided to make me a member of the Governing Council. I appreciate it. Please extend your gratitude to me. I also wish to thank everybody here present, physically, for coming in to share this day with me, because today is really a day of Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving in the sense that I am able to be here to clock out and celebrate my exit from the University of First Choice and Nations Pride, the University of Lagos. I also would like to thank my sister-in-law, I just got her face now, Mrs. Tokumbo. Please stand up for me. I thank all those people on the Zoom for creating time. I thank my siblings who are in the diaspora. They will make sure you make a good point. CITS has promised to do that, so you will get it. I thank you very much, and I pray that you will also achieve great heights. Your mountains will be surmounted, and you will have reasons to rejoice in the name of our Creator. My conclusion. Also, I thank all those who are seated, even though I'm not able to mention you by name. Professor Olubunmi, like I said, enjoy the office. It's my party. Thank you very much. To all members of the Department of Zoology, clap for yourself. I thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just a student of mine, a postgraduate student of mine. Mrs. Tawa, please thank you. Everyone has a dream. If you can imagine it, then you can achieve it. It will take time, one day at a time. A lot of hard work, then you can achieve step by with a little love or passion, you will. I had a nomadic teaching experience. I have traversed this country in pursuit of parasitology research. To every beginning, there is an end. To the writing of books, there is no end. I have joined the company of the elders by the mercies of the Almighty God. Therefore I say, please kindly stand up and sing to the praise of the Lord on my behalf. From the bottom of my heart, I
side, representing management of the university, the Academy of Science, my brother and colleague, Professor Olubunmi, and to the celebrant of the day with the husband, Professor Femi and Professor Mrs. Olubunmi Adetoro. We have come a long way. We have come many, many years from the past. I think sitting in this room, I probably would say I'm one of the oldest people, well, I think more than them. I probably say so. I think more than the front here. We have come a long way with Femi and me from UI way back. Some 50 years now, somewhere 50 years. I remember to Friday in London, together with my wife. We were all in Queen's Mall those days, so it's a bit of joy for me today to stand here to celebrate the valedictory lecture of Professor Mrs. Otubanjo. It is quite a pleasure because I tell you, a lot of people will not know. When we started our career, she was a young, pretty, beautiful, delectable academic. Young girl with a PhD, 26-year-old. Think of a 26-year-old with a PhD from Ghana. And so it was the delight of virtually everybody in the faculty of science of those days. I was there, and as I said, 2 other colleagues were here. But she was very brilliant and very focused. She was such a consummate academic right from her young age. And I was saying consummate academic because a lot of people may not know this. She veered into road selling in Agogo, but it didn't last at all because she was not put out for that at all. My wife, together with these 2 delectable ladies in front, encouraged her to start selling clothes, but it didn't work. We quickly went back to her Parasitology, ended well. She became a professor of the University of Zoology. She became virtually all that is possible to be at the University of Zoology. She complained that because she was not an alumnus, don't worry, there are many of us. Well, who else about that in this place? But we still thank God that the University of Zoology gave us the room, gave us the template for us to become what we are. But I also want to remind the audience, and that's what I know about, that she was quite a very strict lady, which is not different from her generation. These 2 women in front here, together with my wife, are not different. They are very strict. They are extremely loving, even though they are orderly. They want to do it in a particular way. Once you don't do it in that way, then you are in trouble. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that we thank God for today. Professor Olubunmi showed us that she's quite erudite not only in language, but also erudite in the subject matter. She showed us that her chase for parasites led her to produce so many professors, so many PhD students, so many master students who are all over Nigeria, in the Nigerian economy, in the Nigerian university system, in Nigerian polytechnic. So we thank God for you, thank God for your life, and we say that you are retired, you was not tired. You have said you don't want to take up any teaching job again, that many of us are doing that, but that you are available for consultancy and advisory matters. Many will come, actually, and therefore, He said, the Lord Almighty, who has always been your pillar, will not be able to remind you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Olubunmi.
I'd like to observe more protocol. My name is Professor Olubunmi. I teach at the Federal University and Delta. I'm also the coordinator for the Parasitology and Public Health Society of Nigeria, in which the celebrant today is a fellow of the society. So I will start by saying I bring good message from the President of Mass Grace Society, Professor Kaka. I bring good message from the College of Fellows. Notable among them is Professor Ekabe, a two-time Vice Chancellor, Professor Samubo, Professor Kaka, Professor Isaac. They all wish you to do well. In my own personal experience, I would say that I first of all heard the name of Dr. Otubanjo in 1990 while I was a postgraduate student at the University of Ibadan. I didn't meet her, but those I saw there, in every conversation they would mention her name. They said that this woman used to do them like this. And ever since then, I have come to realize that she is a very great woman. And I follow her publication without annually it. And I can tell you that she is not the great personality that we have in the country. And textbook, the latest of personality, has always been my favorite textbook. In fact, every of my students will have to go through that textbook because it gives you a foundation background of personality. Prof, I know that you are retired, but you are not retired. We still need you. We need your advisory, particularly to us, young people that are coming up. And I also see you as a very powerful woman. I remember how we shared experience in Port Harcourt when you were the chairman of the accreditation committee, and how we thoroughly ensure that we did the work and to the best of our ability. I also know that we work on some phase of gradual research. What will I say? We are rich. If just the fact that we retire by 70, I'm sure we are still strong. And I know we need to 80, we need to 90, we need to 100. If they don't time. So it's my pleasure to be at this particular valedictory lecture, in spite of the traffic and all the gossip and it couldn't stop me. I have to have my to get here in good time. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear representative from FedEx University. A round of applause.
All protocols still be observed. I say good afternoon to everyone in the house. Myself and Mrs. Olubunmi, the Deputy Registrar of Establishment at University, bring goodwill message from Caleb University Management to our mommy, Professor Mrs. Otubanjo. She's a member of our public council as our aunt from her. And We really appreciate him. She deploys all her experiences for the good running of our university, the first private university in Lagos State. So we really thank her for her contribution. Because when things are tied up in the council, she will contribute to it. So we really appreciate her, and we appreciate her. She's tired, not tired. She's still continuing to be on our council. By the grace of God. So, Mommy, we are really congratulating you for this special occasion, and we pray that God continue to bring your strength in Jesus' name. Thank you.
It's time for the special man in the life of Professor Olubunmi to give us his goodwill. Prof. Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo, round of applause.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to first of all thank the organizers of this Valedictory lecture for considering me worthy of the honor and for your goodwill and communication of my family. I also want to recognize the presence of Larry and Professor who was not mentioned. Thank you for coming. I didn't think that I will ever have any other opportunity to say what I want to say. Particularly because of the talking of mountains, that we are climbing every mountain. I need to say that when it comes to women, I am the number one mountain. I was the number one mountain. And she had to fight. Number two, I also created the mountain for her to climb. Because naturally, most women have their husbands as mountains. Either they're good husbands or they're bad husbands. They're mountains. If you have a bad husband, of course you know what it means. Particularly as an academic, you spend half of the time writing the book. If you have a good husband, as an academic, you must continue to work on making sure that he is good. And so your time is taken away. There was a day in church, we had a Mother's Day service. And the lady preacher came, and one thing that struck me that he said that when you visit the Yaba Mental Hospital, that almost 80% of the men they have brought themselves there. They brought themselves to mental hospital because of drugs, of their stupidity. But equally, 80% of the women there were brought there by men. Women who have been cheated, women who are dropped at the altar of wedding, women who are preparing for a marriage and the husband runs away, women who cannot even have access to their husbands at home. Some women, their husband brings their concubine to meet them in their bedroom. So, since women get married, women are mad, they get crazy because of men. If you add to that, millions of women, millions, who have committed suicide. You add to that women who have contemplated suicide at one point, or who are contemplating suicide as we speak. I know from my own mother's experience what it means to have a man take away your joy, if not your life. She died because of the frustration of marriage at the age of 42, unhappy and unfulfilled. I was alarmed that after having an accessory to suicide, when one day my wife was discussing with one of her sisters. That sister is sitting here, what I did with her. And what we are talking about, having considered committing suicide, both of
running an attack into a trailer to end it all out of despair. And what was the despair? Our marriage. Me, I was in despair. So, the day of my inaugural was the happiest day in my life. It was the day of my own liberation from the heavy burden of guilt which I carried with me for being a trap on the life of another human being. God has paid there 26. You know that we were writing our pages at the same time. When we graduated, we were the only two who graduated PhD at the University of California that year. She was the one who actually wrote my transcribe from my rough notes to the neat note for me to work back. You know, I felt, as a social scientist, humanities, we are never satisfied with what we write. So I kept writing. She said, "Baby, we will never finish this work." She took it from me, copied it, typed it, and fortunately I divided it and it went through. So, today I also celebrate God and give thanks to Him for sparing me from the damnation of hedonism, cannibalism, and thoughtlessness. Because most men don't know it. We are hedonistic in what will happen, and anybody that stands in our way, we attract their wives, we destroy. And we are selfish. It takes today celebrating a birthday at 74. I now realize there's nothing in anything. Nothing. I suddenly discovered that I don't need anything. But I didn't know that before. I thought every woman was somebody to be conquered, to be fine. And today, I know that it's not. I thank God that today has been giving me grace to tell a story of tribulation and triumph. May God continue to be a shepherd and give us unlimited joy and peace in the future. I want to thank you all for coming. I pray that God will continue to allow you, empower you, give you the grace to show out every pattern, sin and sin, which constitute a hindrance to your destiny. May God bless you all.
God is bigger than any mountain that I cannot see. My God is bigger than my questions, bigger than everything. God is bigger than any mountain that I cannot see. My God is bigger than all my problems, bigger than all my fears. God is bigger than any mountain that I can or cannot see. My God is bigger than all my questions, bigger than anything. God is bigger than every mountain that I cannot see.
I'd like to invite Professor Olubunmi Adetoro the DBC Academic and Research, for just 2 minutes of a new message. A round of applause.
Honorary today, Professor Olubunmi Adetoro Otubanjo, Dean of Science, my mentor, Professor
Olubunmi, and all other people that were behind the head of the Department of Zoology, all other professors here present. I'm learned here, and a lot of people we have seen that I came in and find I'm not late. The Vice Chancellor and myself, we are in the professorial interview panel. And so the time was here. I was deputizing to him, so we are here together. So when the interview continues now, he is here to deputizing for him here. So both of us are here because the honorary of the day, and please consider as the lecturer here today, is our dear Mama in the Faculty of Science. So, with the association together is in two places. In the church, I was chairman of the chapel, and the lady in between and as chairman of the chapel. During her tenure, you will see the six-story building that is in the chapel was built during her tenure, and because of only 5 billion during her tenure. It is not a small work for a woman to be the driver to make that happen. And when you get there, a lot of people think the building is supposed to be up to 1 billion. But because of her managerial activity, she was able to cut all unnecessary expenditure, and she was able to get good quality for just about having $1 billion. That is a big achievement apart from her academic progress. We cannot talk about parasites in Nigeria or in the world. That is because of our academic achievement that made those things possible. We don't do that sleeping. We do that by going from place to place, and no matter where she gets to in the world, she's a professor of zoology with special reference to parasitology. As her ability to organize and department, she was head of the department, and as Dean of Science, these are the people we now who can give us good advice as to the role of the faculty. And so we are happy that she was able to deliver a inaugural lecture and also to deliver the inaugural lecture. That is the thing that we need a round of applause for. They don't give inaugural lecture, not to talk of exemplary lecture. And so the ability to do this, for those who do not know, is a major achievement. And I'm happy that she's doing it in good health. And with her husband beside her, they are professor and professors. It's a great achievement that God has given to them. And she has done it in good health. And she's retiring from active service. She don't go to normal service now. And like I said, she's going from active service. She doesn't have to do all the 3 things that professors do, but she can choose one of them and do it because she is still in good health and she's available, as she has said by herself, only teaching that she doesn't want. She's available for research, and I'm sure it's because of her retirement that she has to give up her research grants. And so many people, so many professors don't have one research grant, not to talk of being a research grant owner at almost retirement. So I congratulate you, ma'am, and I wish you many years of good health, many years of usefulness to humanity, and for useful to your family. And by God's grace, we shall be here to celebrate your 80 in good health in Jesus' name. I also want to thank the organizers of this meeting. It is an honor for
Amen.
Thank you very much. Let me also thank our husband. Even though the other says she did all those ones, but in my own case, my own job is to thank the husband for giving her the enabling environment to become a professor too. We can help the husband at the time that she entered, but the other thing may have happened in between. But God has made it possible that he was able to manage all of them. And I thank Professor Olubunmi for able to achieve this. And I pray that every husband here to support their wives to achieve whatever they want to achieve. We should not be jealous of them because they are making progress. So if they make so much progress, maybe they will not answer you at home again. If you do your things well, you manage everything, you get even better than you get ordinarily. Women are wonderful people, and if you do well for them, you get a lot. And I know I'm not toasting anybody, I am telling you the truth, not what I know. So I probably because of Otubanjo, no, I because of Otubanjo for being able to have a manage a move to get this one. Thank you everybody for coming. God bless you.
We have someone all the way from Canada, Mr. and Mrs. Jegede, who wish to express their goodwill message. So, over to you, CIPS. Let's hear what they have got to say. Mr. Jegede, please unmute from your end. Please unmute from your end, Mr. Jegede.
If I was first were professor's project student back then, and I work on parasitic diseases in children, and I have secured a project site for sample collection at Oxford Children's Hospital. However, there was one of us that had challenges when she approved from the
University of Lagos presents as a token of good service. God bless you.
Yes, you have to open it. You have to open it? Yes. You need to know what it is. Hey, for you.